I'm making a video because I just got home from one of the most, if not absolutely the most rewarding experience of my life as a musician, performing Shostakovich 8th Symphony with Shepherd School. I mean, I was just fighting back tears the whole time. It's such an incredible piece, and we have the liberty of having a lot of time with these pieces that we present in school, and it was just so extremely memorable and meaningful, especially at this time in our political climate, to play something this powerful. And, the past few months, the past few weeks, especially over spring break, I had nothing to do except spend time on the internet until like 3 or 4 in the morning. And I read so many articles that were really horrifying, including, things that said like public funding of art continues even though its advocates cannot explain why it's necessary. And I can explain why it's necessary, but I feel like pieces like Shostakovich Eighth do it for you. And I mean, this piece has just been incredible to work on, and I just want to talk about why it's important for me that the arts exist. For instance, I had a really rough day. It's been a really rough year in general, and this is on top of my 10 years. I was diagnosed 9 years ago with severe depression and anxiety, which, a lot of my friends know. It's not something I hide. It's something I really struggle with, and it can be so hard to get out of bed. It can be so hard to get out of my house, depending on how bad it is. And it's not circumstantial. That's just the way things are. But it's incredible because I can be in a really rough place emotionally, and I know this doesn't work for everyone, but emotionally I have been able to be uplifted so much by music. Without music, I'm really not sure where I would be today. It's so cliche to say that, but it's really saved me from so many dark times. I remember I had a really rough 10 months after I had like a failed engagement many years ago, and I was, I was really devastated, and I was working on this piece by Prokofiev, his first sonata for violin and piano, Opus 80, and it was so incredible, and he wrote it at the same time as he wrote the piano war sonatas. And I was doing some reading, and I remember that one of the incredible themes in one of the sonatas, he quotes a Schumann lied, and the words are, "I can sometimes sing as if I were glad, yet secretly tears well, and so free my heart." And this was when, I think Stalin had just kidnapped like one of his closest friends, the secret police, and then murdered that friend's wife. It's just, during these horrific times, and to know that someone could write that and produce that beauty is so inspiring, and that's what music is for me. In my darkest times, when I listen to music, that's the way to get out. I can sometimes sing as if I were glad. And it's so incredible to walk out on stage and be able to leave all of the pettiness of my life and all the sadness behind and be a part of something that's really great. And I mean, it's so historical, the things that we play. I mean, I love playing new music as well, but something like this that has so much history and so much meaning, you're remembering with so many people the crimes of humanity and the beauty that is still available. And it's just so inspiring, and it's our responsibility as artists to present that, and hope that people will listen so that we can all do better when we can. And that's why I personally need the arts. Nothing can explain or, talk about the emotions that are felt in the music that I just played tonight. Like the seeping numbness and apathy that can roll in like a slow fog over every muscle. That's what the fourth movement is, that kind of isolation, the density of sadness. These are textures, these are feelings, and it really is time traveling to go and to play that or listen to that and to understand how ambiguous and powerless some of these times were. And it is so inspiring that we have so many composers who were brave enough to write what was unwritable at times when it was dangerous to do so. And to be a part of the tradition where, I mean, one of the fields that I respect the most, I mean, arguably until recently, has always been journalism. And for me, this is a journal of the people's experience of their times when I listen to things like Shostakovich 8th. So, I mean, music has really saved my life, as cliche, again, as that is to say. I am so lucky that I get to be a part of something that's enjoyable on all depths. And I don't know, that's why we need the arts. That's why we need to fight for it so much. And I know this is going to be preaching to the choir because everyone who would watch this video understands. But really, like, the performance tonight, I mean, I've soloed with that orchestra. I've gone on tour with that orchestra, but playing this now was so rewarding, and it really is just indicative of the power of music. So I'm super grateful, and if you guys can listen to it any way that you can, that's all. Good night. Thanks for watching, listening.